iZombie is a game where you control a cute little zombie avatar in the attempt to propagate your species, meaning that you're trying to eat other people's brains and turn them to the undead side. This is accomplished by approaching an NPC and munching on their sweet meat until they join you as a zombie. That sounded very wrong, but we're going to go ahead and roll with it. From there, you'll be able to issue simple commands to those newly turned undead to either attack, wait, or follow. The game plays a lot like the Metal Gear games of old, with a little bit of the game Overlord thrown in. And when we say Metal Gear games of old, we mean the 2D tactical espionage variety and not the bisexual vampire having kind. That being said, there are some key differences between the classic Kojima series and iZombie. For instance, the guards in iZombie don't have a field of vision, but more of a radius of vision. That means if the guard is facing one way and you approach him from behind, he will still turn and fill your carcass full of hot lead. This leads to the issue of not knowing exactly where a guard's radius is. Sometimes you'll feel you're following a patrolling soldier with plenty of space to spare only to have him whip around and open fire. For those of you who see the cute little art style and think this is going to be a romp through the flowers, you would be very mistaken. The levels, while very cleverly designed, are somewhat difficult to complete due to the difficulty. This is in no way a bad thing, but something that should be mentioned as the game does present a real challenge in some spots. One way this is alleviated, however, is the URL at the bottom of failure screens informing the player that there are video walkthroughs available on YouTube. For those perfectionists and completionists out there, the game features a ranking system as well to slightly up the replay value of the game. Another minor complaint about the game is that the AI of your zombie followers can be somewhat less than helpful. Many times when you want them to attack a specific group of guards, they will instead awkwardly pathfind to another group, leaving you high and dry in the fight. That, coupled with the fact that your character's movement speed grinds to a halt when injured, makes for some very frustrating moments. Although any complaints aside, this game is a great value for 80 Microsoft points. Many of the stages play out more like a puzzle game than they do an action game, and that's very nice since it keeps the gameplay fresh and the player thinking about solutions to the current problems. The game feels like it's at an adequate length, and while there are some outliers, I'm looking at you level 8, the difficulty does ramp up at a very nice pace. This game features a high level of polish, a charming visual aesthetic, and the always impressive musical stylings of Kevin MacLeod. iZombie is a shining example of what the indie game development scene needs today. A simple idea that has been designed and polished to a degree befitting a AAA quality game. With complaints at a minimum and value at a very high, iZombie gets a 5 out of 5.